Happy New Year, y'all! Here is the first video of 2025. I know I said I would upload last week, but I was looking for my pop filter. It took a moment, and I found it. There you go, pop filter. Pop filter. I hope it reduces the plosives and whatever other bumps and thuds that were making special appearances in my videos. I promise not to film while mom is doing the dishes. She can be quite aggressive with them. Thank God we have shatterproof dishes. Although, I shattered one of them this morning. I dropped it. In today's video, we're going to talk about... Oh. What's that? You want a silly little skit? Is that what you want? Well then, here you go. On the first day of the new Linux course, the A+ student enters the classroom, all neat, prim, and proper, like the good student she is. She sits at her desk and carefully arranges her notebooks, opens her pencil case with all her favorite pens and pencils and erasers, and gets ready to take notes and learn. Then the A+ student pulls out a textbook, a book that has a book cover made from a brown paper shopping bag. The book is titled, "This is the Only Way How to Learn Linux." The A+ student then pulls out her syllabus that has as its header, "This is the only way how to learn Linux. Class schedule. Day 1, step 1, do this. Day 2, step 2, do that. Day 3, step 3, and then that." And so on and so forth in a succinct, direct order. The A+ student reviews her syllabus, sets it down, takes out a piece of loose leaf paper from her folder, writes a heading across that piece of paper, old school style, name, date, and subject. She puts down her pen and gets ready to learn in the only way that she has been programmed to. And then in enters the misfit. Dressed in black, gray t-shirt, rock and roll style, a black kimono under an oversized red blazer, with black cowboy booties. Accessories include thick, colorful costume statement necklaces and look optic tinted progressive glasses. Not sponsored. Her unruly curly hair is pulled up into a high messy bun. I kind of like her style. I think I'm going to adopt it. The misfit slowly walks up to the A+ student, seated at her desk, and picks up the syllabus, looks it over, shakes her head, crumbles it up, and tosses it over her shoulder. The A+ student starts to look horrified because the only way she has been programmed to learn is now being challenged. Then the misfit picks up the book titled, "This is the Only Way How to Learn Linux," thumbs through it, frowns, and continues to shake her head, and then tosses it aside. The A+ student is now even more horrified and bewildered, as now the only way she has been programmed to learn has been debunked. The misfit then pulls out a book with the title, "Linux for All Types of Learning," because there's more than one way to skin a cat. How to resourcefully study Linux with grit and gumption. The misfit places the book on the table and pushes it towards the A+ student. The A+ student slowly picks up the book and starts to thumb through it. And as she continues to peruse, she starts to smile and breathe a sigh of relief as the years of programming and how she should learn is being lifted off her shoulders. A quick note, editing Mina here. You're going to hear a series of random thumps throughout the video, and it's something that has been brought to my attention, and the suggestion was to use a pop filter, and I did, but I realized there was more to that that could be remedied by a pop filter, and it's because my table is on an uneven surface and I tend to move my hands a lot when I talk and put them down on the table. So I'm working to fix that, and I promise by the next video there will be no more thuds. Thank you for your patience. Thanks a lot, and thanks again for watching my videos. Cheers. Hi, it's Mina. If this is the first time watching my video, welcome. Welcome to all the new amazing, awesome subscribers we have. Thank you and Happy New Year. In this video, we are going to talk about how all types of learning can learn something new and unexpected. That new and unexpected thing is Linux. We are in a time where we have wider access to information outside of resources such as the Encyclopedia Britannica, which I read recently has gone AI, or the World Encyclopedia, which in addition to its online version, still offers a print edition. We still have public libraries, and I'm not knocking them. I love public libraries, and I hope they never go away. The cool thing about them now is that you can access multiple public libraries online through Libby, a huge enhancement from back in the day where we had to physically go to the public library to look up something we wanted to know more about or to complete a school assignment. Today, when we want to learn about something or find out about something, we go online, either to Google or YouTube, two of the largest search engines, which literally means we have a wealth of information at our fingertips, which means we can learn the way we want to and at our own pace, literally anything. So today, we are going to go through 5 steps on how to resourcefully study and learn Linux, the way we want to and at our own pace, the way you want to and at your own pace. Step 1, do a search on YouTube and create a list. When you do a search on YouTube, you're going to come up with lots of good results. And to keep track of all the videos that you want to watch, it is good to create a list to add them to for future reference. Let's type in the YouTube search. For example, Linux for Beginners 2024. I entered the most recent year to pull up the most recent videos. The videos that show up in the results that I want to watch, I save to a list on YouTube. Did you know that you can create your own lists on YouTube of videos that you want to watch? I'm sure you already knew that. If this is something brand new to you, here's how to create a list to save videos to for future reference. Under a video that you want to watch later, you will see the name of the channel to the left. Then going towards the right, you will see the like and the dislike buttons, the share button, and depending on the size of your screen, you will see like a little button with 3 dots in a horizontal line. When you click on the 3 dots, a pop-up box will appear with a list to choose from. Choose the save option. Here you can save to watch later, save to a playlist that you may have already created, or you can create a new one. Here is how to create a new playlist. With the video that you want to save, click on save, then click on the button all the way down at the box that appears that says plus new playlist, and then name your playlist. Then click save and you're done. That video automatically gets saved to the playlist that you created. Back to our search. Linux for Beginners 2024. Here are some videos that show up at the top of the list in this search. Linux for Beginners by Chris Titus Tech. This video was created 2 years ago and has 749,000 views. The fact that this video is at the top of the search results says that what he is speaking about and what he is sharing is valuable to learning Linux. 100 plus Linux things you need to know by Fireship. Created 5 months ago and with 1.5 million views. You better know that there's gold in this content. Say you're going through your search results, you're scrolling up and down through your search results, and you want to save a video to a playlist quickly before watching it. Click on the 3 vertical dots to the top right part of that video, and from the drop down box that pops up, you can either select watch later or save to a playlist. When I am in a rush, I will select watch later and then save that video to a playlist when I have a moment. Here are some more search results. Introduction to Linux, full course for beginners from freecodecamp.org. Created 1 year ago and has 2.1 million views. Linux crash course for beginners with labs. I like labs. I like hands-on labs when learning something new. Linux crash course for beginners with labs, created by freecodecamp.org 6 months ago, and it has 131,000 views. In your comments, I have read about all the different distros that you use. Say you want to learn Ubuntu. Say you want to learn Ubuntu. You better know I looked up how to pronounce Ubuntu.
Ubuntu. Ubuntu. Ubuntu.
Ubuntu. I keep saying Ubuntu. Ubuntu. Enter in YouTube search Ubuntu for Beginners 2024 and save the videos that you want to watch to a list. How about Arch? Enter in YouTube search Arch for Beginners 2024 and create a list in your YouTube account, name it, and save the videos that you want to watch to it. You can even do search for Linux for Beginners 2025 and it will pull up the most recent videos that are available for that search. Here's a quick peek at my list of saved videos under the title Linux Learner. Step 2, watching and learning from videos. I'm going to show you one way to do this that might work for you. However, there may be other ways of watching and learning from videos that may vibe better with you. You do you, boo. Select a video from your playlist and watch it through once. Make sure that you don't have any distractions while you're watching this video. Make sure your phone is on silent or off or far away from you. You want to be focusing on the video that you want to learn from. As you watch the video, some things may start to jump out at you that you may want to take note of. When you finish watching the video once, watch the video again, but this time turn on captions. To turn on captions, run your cursor over the video while it's playing and you will see the timeline highlight and you will see a box that has 2 letter C's in it. Click on that and words will appear at the bottom of the screen. Those are the captions to the video. Turn those on to watch the video again for the second time. Sometimes reading what the creator is saying as you hear it helps to retain more information. It also helps when taking notes. To take notes, pause. Pause the video to take notes. Here's where the captions help a lot. When you hear and read something that the creator said that you realize needs to be noted, pause the video and click on the timeline to reverse it a bit to read what was said. And take notes on that in your Word document that you created or handwrite them in your notebook. Notepad, loose leaf paper, paper towel, napkin, your hand, for the love of God. For the love of God. Write and record your notes down somewhere. The difference between typing and handwriting your notes. Handwriting note helps a lot in retaining information better. Typing out notes is quicker. There is a lot of information in Linux. Typing out your notes can save time. Choose what works best for you. If you enjoy writing and handwriting your notes, go at it. Remember, you do you, boo. It takes time to watch a video and take detailed notes. It could take hours. However, if you are fascinated with the topic that you are learning about, time will fly. When you finish watching a video and taking detailed notes, take a break. Step away from the computer and go do something else. Cook a meal. Take some deep breaths. Step outside and take a walk. Go hug a tree and scream. I really like the last option. You don't have to come back right away to review your notes. Come back a day or so if that suits you. Give it some time for the new information to marinate in your mind, as well as in your document or in your notebook. Once you return to review your notes, there may be some concepts that are a little bit challenging to grasp. That is never a reflection on you. Okay? Come closer here. If you can't get a concept right away, that is not a reflection on you. You are more powerful than you realize, and you can learn anything you put your mind to. Okay? Okay. It's a beautiful thing that in this day and age, there are tools we can use to help us learn things better by clarifying concepts. When you come back to review your notes, and if there are some concepts that you can't fully grasp, do a search on Google. For example, I started the Linux Crash Course for Beginners with Labs with freecodecamp.org, and the very first lesson was all about logging into local and remote consoles. I wanted a simpler way to understand the 4 ways to log into the Linux system. I did a search on Google and then I went to ChatGPT. Why ChatGPT? You can take a phrase or a paragraph of something that you looked up on Google that may not be clear to some types of learning and ask ChatGPT to reword it in a way so that it can be understood better. I learned that rewording a phrase or a paragraph in words that are understood by a 5th grader helps a lot. This is because in all types of learning, you can come across language barriers or learners who are totally new to tech and operating systems, or creative, goofy, artsy-fartsy types like yours truly. Here is an example. In the Linux crash course, I learned that out of the 4 ways to log into the Linux system, one is by local text, the local text mode console. Local meaning you're sitting right in front of your computer and typing in your username and password. What if I had to explain this to my 91-year-old mother who does not understand YouTube and thinks I just veg out in front of the computer at night when she turns in? And I may do that sometimes. Watch a comfort YouTuber before turning in. I like watching all the feral fawns. Look her up. But I digress. And then, I have the added challenge that mom cannot hear too well, does not like using her hearing aids, and prefers that I speak Spanish to her, and then serve her a glass of wine on top of all that. And she wants to know what the heck is a local text mode console. Well, Google states, and I quote, "A text mode console is a screen where you interact with your computer by typing commands instead of using a mouse or graphical interface. It displays only text, no images or graphics, and it's often used when the system isn't running a graphical user interface or a GUI." I took this to ChatGPT and asked it to reword it so that it could be understood by a 5th grader. This is what it gave me. A text mode console is a way to use your computer where everything is just words on the screen, no pictures or buttons. It is like a chat box where you type commands, and the computer screen answers you by showing words back. Which explanation do you prefer? I prefer the latter, in my humble opinion. A brief note on ChatGPT. I see it as a tool to learn better, to take the words that you have floating through your mind and vomit it onto paper and put them into a way to help others understand what you're thinking, to take the words others have put forth that you need clarification on and to reword them in a way that you understand them better. What I'm saying here is that you literally have the world of learning at your fingertips in YouTube, Google, and ChatGPT. You look up something in one or both of the 2 largest search engines, and then you place concepts into AI to clarify them for better understanding. The one thing you control is your own effort. Use it to act on your own interest and go after what you want to learn, and use that to improve your life and the lives of others. Okay, I'm jumping off my soapbox. Wait, I'm not done yet. Step 3. Don't be afraid to wash, rinse, and repeat. Repeating concepts is how you learn. You may have to watch a video more than once to grasp what is being taught. To learn something new and exciting that you've never encountered before, it is worth the time to make the effort. The one thing you control is your effort. The one thing you control is your effort. 4. Step 4. Schedule time to learn something new. During the time I was working rideshare and driving as a chauffeur, I remember one time I was driving up 8th Avenue in Manhattan. And when you drive past 42nd Street, there was a garbage can. There was a garbage can on the corner of 43rd and 8th at the stoplight. I looked to my right, and on the garbage can, it said the following: "If you're not creating, then you're simply consuming. Create with courage." It's on my Instagram back in the days from when I drove. I am not active on that account anymore as I have moved forward. That is a part of my history that I have no regrets living. I learned a lot driving through the insane streets of New York City, and I did a good part of this overnights from 2020 to 2022. Enough said. If you're going to consume something, make it something that is more of content that is proactive and actionable and less of doom scrolling. I have nothing against doom scrolling every now and then. Just do less of it and do more of watching content that is proactive and actionable, and it will help you do something new and perhaps improve your life in some way, like cook a new recipe that is healthier than takeout, or recreate a takeout recipe that is so much healthier when you do it at home. And schedule time in your day to do that, to learn something new, not doom scroll. Your comments have inspired me with more ideas for content for future uploads, which include having you look over my shoulder as I take the Linux crash course for beginners with labs, and opening my laptop again to work with the fan. And someone also did say something about thermal paste. More to come. Super duper exciting, but Mina's not a free elf. I have to balance my time between being a full-time caregiver for mom and handling all her administrative stuff, her appointments, her insurance, all that jazz, and then also take care of my administrative stuff, and at the same time try to take care of myself and get some exercise in and try to eat well and eat right and cook healthy meals for mom. But she also likes to have takeout, and then I needed to take a moment out to go out and run around the block or go hug a tree and scream. And then I have all these projects I like to do outside of YouTube, and well, you get the deal. It's life. And then we have YouTube, which I really enjoy doing. I really enjoy creating content for you. But to put it all into context, I have to waste my time wisely, and you have to waste your time wisely. Come again? Yes, I said it. Waste your time wisely. It kind of sounds better than manage your time wisely. To schedule time to learn, time block your day and or week in such a way that there is time to do everything you want to do. And believe me, there is time for everything that you want to do. And something just came to mind by this creator. His name is Clark Kegley, where he created a setup for his journals. He has been journaling since 2006. And he will show in his videos the stacks of journals that he has written all this time. And he's very successful right now, but he started out in the basement of his parents' home, learning how to do online marketing, learning how to work online. But he has his own journal out. And what really struck me was he puts this number in the front cover. And if I find it, I'm going to put it here. And I'm going to find the calculation for it. This number is the number of days that you have left in your life, supposedly if you're going to live till 90 years of age. And it's actually very impactful and very telling to see that number every day in front of your agenda, in front of your calendar. I think there was a viewer who actually had it tattooed inside of her wrist, but that number changes yearly. But maybe it was the first time that she saw it and it made an impact on her, and that's why she had it tattooed to her wrist. But I'm not asking you to do any tattooing or anything like that. No, don't do that. Don't say, Mina told me to get a tattoo. No, I didn't tell you to do that. I'm telling you the exercise and the impact of the number. I'm going to find it and I'm going to insert it here somewhere. So I actually went and I dug out my journal. So Clark Kegley, he keeps journals using like these art books, sketchbooks, and I found it. This is like part of 2023 in a little bit. I think I started this journal I started it in 2023, and like Clark Kegley taught, he's put a number there, how many days you have till 90 years of age. Here are some points he taught about, and if I find a video about that, I will share it with you. If the light is glaring off my glasses, I'm sorry. Maybe I should just do this. But I'm going to read it to you. What he taught, and I think he got it, I don't remember where he learned this from, but he said the number is a play on 32,850. Those are the number of days you have from birth to 90 years of age. A lot of people don't live till 90 years of age, but say that you're going to live to 90 years of age and you have all this time to do what you came here to do, what your soul came here to do. So you're going to write the number of days in the front cover of your journal, in your agenda, in your calendar, how many days you have left till you turn 90. And he quoted Steve Jobs. He said Steve Jobs would look himself every day in the mirror and he would ask himself, if today were my last day on earth, would I be satisfied with what I'm about to do today? You can ask yourself that same question. If today was my last day on earth, would I be satisfied with what I'm about to do today? And Steve Jobs will actually think about that question. And if the answer was no, I get it. If the answer was no for far too many days, if he asked himself that question every day, and if the answer was no for far too many days, he knew he needed to change something immediately, urgent. Because he said facing his own mortality was one of the most motivating factors to go there. So how do you calculate this number? You know that 32,850 is the number of days from birth to 90 years of age. So you take your age. My age is, I stopped calculating. What is my age? I sincerely stopped calculating. 2025. Well, we just started 2025. I'm going to say 2024 minus 1971. 53. I'm 53 years of age. So you want to know how many days is 53 years. So you would do the math equation. 53 times the fraction 365 days over a year, and then you would get the number of days. So let's say 53 years. 53 times 365 days, because there's 365 days in 1 year, amounts to 19,345 days. I've lived 19,345 days to this point. If I want to know if I am going to live till 90, God willing, how many more days I have left till I hit 90 years of age. So we take this number, 19,345, and we're going to subtract that number from 32,850. I'm going to do this by hand. I have 13,505 days left till I reach 90, if God willing. So what am I going to do each of those days? Am I going to fall at the whim of the distractions in this life and in this society? Or am I going to act on my own interests and go after the life I've always wanted? And I ask you the same question. Once you've computed the amount of days you have left till you hit 90, how are you going to spend each of those days? I know it's not an easy thing. It's no easy feat. But the beautiful thing is that every day is a brand new day to start over again. So if you take Steve Jobs' quote and you look at this number now every day in 2025, how can you structure your days so that your tomorrow is better than your today? Food for thought. I'm telling you the exercise and the impact of the number, but the point I'm trying to make is that you have time to do everything that you want to do, including learning something new. We are in a society where there's instant gratification and everything is vying for our attention, and there are so many distractions. But if you really want to learn Linux and you feel like you're not nerdy or techie, like I said earlier, you are more powerful than you realize, and you can learn anything that you put your mind to. Remember that. In order to do that, these 5 steps that I have outlined for you is a guideline. It's not something written in stone. It's something meant to guide you. You mostly will find a way, your own system, to learn something new. But the important thing is to set aside time to learn something new. Write it down. Set alarms to remind you. I think it is Mary Ruth of Mary Ruth Organics. It's a huge vitamin company where all the vitamins are in liquid form, which is easy for a lot of people to take. She time blocks her day. So every minute, every second of her day is accounted for. So she knows that at this hour she's doing this, at that hour she's doing that. She time blocks it. So I'm saying do something like that. If you're going to time block a certain amount of time, create an alarm so you don't go over the amount of time that you have allotted to learn something new. Now, say if you work a 9 to 5, and I'm not bashing 9 to 5s, I'm not bashing jobs. It's something that I personally have made the decision not to return to. I have family members who think that I'm going to return to corporate life once my mom goes home to God. That is not my plan. But if you work a 9 to 5 and you want to do something different and you feel the call to do something greater, what do you do from your 5 to 9? How can you manage your time better? What can you schedule in those times to work on something that eventually will lead to the life that you really want to live? The life that your soul is calling you to live. Some food for thought. Learning something new is going to take a bit of sacrifice. You decide. Remember, the one thing you control is your effort. I am going to link a video by Tom Bilyeu that I think is quite impactful. And that is where I got the phrase, the one thing you control is your effort. Because it's so true. The one thing you control is your effort. The video by Tom Bilyeu is called The One Video to Watch If You Want to Win in 2025. If you have a moment, take some time from your scrolling and give it a watch. I think you can apply it to learning Linux or learning anything new, learning something new and unexpected that you never thought you were going to tackle, or improving your life in some way. Step number 5, give yourself compassion and grace when learning something new. Remember, there are many ways to learn, as there are all types of learning. Stop delaying your progress by trying to be perfect or waiting for the right time. There is no perfection here on this channel. Let me tell you a story when I was driving. I used to go to rest. There's this park by the 96th Street tennis courts right off the Henry Hudson Parkway. It's a popular spot for rideshare drivers and chauffeurs to go rest around lunchtime because the city becomes quiet around that time. And I remember seeing a gentleman with this huge professional camera set up with a big telephoto lens because the river was right there in the rest stop, like this parking area into the park. And it's a beautiful sight. And right across is New Jersey. And he would take all these pictures. And one day I just struck up a conversation with him. And he said to me that he would take a lot of pictures and then he would delete them at the end of the night. And I'm like, why? He says, because I don't want anybody stealing my work. So he has this expensive camera outfit. He goes out and he takes pictures and he'll delete them at the end of the day because he doesn't want people to steal his work. That, I feel, is like perfection overload. Or maybe, I do remember him saying that to me, or maybe he felt that all the pictures he took was just not perfect enough. Take it from a recovering perfectionist. There is no perfect, and life is short. Give yourself grace and compassion when learning something new. Be consistent even when you don't feel like doing it. You don't have to learn something new overnight. You can learn at your own pace and take all the time that you need. But the caveat here and the important thing here is you must be consistent and persistent, even if you do it once a month. If you're learning something new and you only have time once a month, then be consistent and persistent learning something new once a month or once a week. Try it for once a day or maybe once every 2 days. But be consistent and persistent in learning something new. The less time that you leave between learning and digesting and practicing new concepts, the more you're going to grasp and retain. Repetition is very, very important when learning something new. If you made it this far, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. I love reading your comments. They are thoughtful, inspiring, and always hilarious. Yes, I am taking the Linux Crash Course for Beginners at freecodecamp.org. I created my account on CodeCloud so that I can access the labs. I look forward to sharing my journey with you. If you like the content I share, give this video a like and consider subscribing so that we can reach more awesome sauce amazing people just like you. Yay! Thanks again for stopping by. See you in the next upload. Cheers.